Covenant Culture Podcast, episode
23.
23, MJ.
23.
I'm from the Shy, so that 23 is MJ, not LBJ. Let's just be very clear. No. Welcome back. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for rocking with us, hanging with us once again. Thank you for supporting in what we're doing here on the podcast. We're grateful. So for all of the comments and the likes and the shares, thank you so much. Our heart is just that we can encourage people, couples, marriages, all that good stuff. So, babe, what we talking about today?
We're talking about unity.
Unity, you and I, T-Y, you and I. I like that.
And I, that's the title.
You and I, thank you.
You and
T-Y, you and I, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that's kind of fresh.
It's fine.
It's all right. It don't meet your creativity standards, your creative standards. No, so unity. Unity is important for marriage, being in one mind, one accord, being in unity. And I always start out with the interview question, so I'm just prepping you. She loves it, y'all. She loves when I do this.
Ridiculous.
What does unity mean to Megan Marie Crawford?
It means you and I. What does it mean to you and I? No, just togetherness and being in one accord, likeness, like-mindedness.
Yeah, that's good. Why is unity important in marriage?
I don't know. What do you think about that? What do you think about unity in marriage?
Well,
I already know. I was just throwing it back at you.
I know. Hey, it is.
It is because like-mindedness. It's back to that.
Yeah.
Making sure you are in one accord, making sure you're on the same page, and in agreement about things and what's to come, so that you can pray on the same page, you can think and cast vision on the same page. All of that. Yeah.
And it's important to be in unity because you don't want to be pulled in opposite directions. So that makes marriage even tougher. So deciphering, and the first thing that kind of came to my mind was like marriage on mission. So
that's our marriage currently.
So when you're in unity and you have a vision or mission for your marriage, being in unity towards that is more attainable to reach that goal than if you're not in unity, it's going to make it harder. Right. So I think clarifying goals, especially doing dating, rewind a little bit. It's important to have clarifying goals because then you could be on mission if you feel this is a marriage, if we're on the course for marriage. That makes sense? So when you're dating, this is the time to kind of hash out passions, where you see yourself going, your gifts, all those evaluating things. So then you could be on the same mission and where you want to go if you decide to get married.
Yeah.
Right? So, being in unity is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
And I think about when we were in that stage, and I remember asking you, kind of expressing to you what I felt I was called to do, and asking you, would you like on board with that about ministry and the calling? And you was like, yeah. I was like, all right, then, shorty, let's go. You know what I mean? So that was clarifying to me, and that brought me peace.
Yeah.
Because you would have been like, well, I don't really know about this ministry thing, right? I would have been like, ouch. But I was so grateful that you were, and you got it, and you saw it.
Yeah, I don't know if I really actually got it, but
well,
I meant it, and here I am. So I get it now.
Yeah, but no, I do. I think just because of your heart for God, you got it. I don't think none of us saw what we would be doing.
Right, yeah. I was
but
just
we knew
silly.
that God had something in store for us in some way, some capacity.
Yeah.
We could have never dreamed it this way.
Yeah.
But that's like God, right?
Yeah.
So
I thought that you were going to take me back to Chicago and it was a Hallmark movie and you were like really the heir of multi-million dollar.
Yeah, I can take you to the hood. I am kind of an heir of the hood, Doc. If you wanted to live in the hood, we could have did that. We could have saved a lot of money, my girl. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was going more along the Hallmark lines.
No, ain't no Hallmark in the hood. Nope, no Hallmark.
Like, so you're not rich. Just double checking.
No, I'm rich in street smarts.
Okay.
Richest. I'm a millionaire in street smarts.
I like
it. But that kind of helped me and gave me a peace.
Yeah.
With like, man, yes, I'm marrying her. Like, she's on board. She gets it. And I'm not even talking about just your individual character. That was already a green light for me. It was more of you, like, understanding what we felt we could be doing together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then once you get married, and we got married, it was like, all right, we know where we want to go. We know where God is taking us. At least we have a sense. Now we can do whatever is necessary to kind of take those steps and going forward.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thoughts?
Just you and I in it together.
That's how you got.
Like, I just go back to the foundations of the things. No, I mean, everything we're discussing and the importance in dating and recognizing that in marriage, obviously, I think those are things that most people would at least reflect on and recognize as important. But in marriage, I think sometimes it's harder to understand what we need to do now. You know, like, we're in a situation. How did we go wrong, or how did we get here? And I think a lot of times that is because of a lack of unity.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was thinking in regards to what unity means.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me right away, I would have told you. Just kidding.
You triggered a thought too. What are some enemies to unity? Right? Like, just what you just said. Like,
some voices that have gone astray. Some friendships that are selfish or jealous, envious.
That's good. Particularly in marriage.
You know, actually, well, I was thinking about, so this is really important to us, and I know that we'll get there and have these conversations even more. But we have been discussing not getting our counseling degrees. I just want to make sure you heard that. Not getting the counseling. Did you hear me?
She don't want me to. She don't want to go back to college, guys.
It's actually not that. It's the fact that I don't want to be a one-stop shop. Yeah. I want to hand their hands to other people.
Yeah.
But however, I understand the importance of that and kind of our goal in that. So where we met in the middle, where we unified, was to get some certifications. And making sure that, you know, we're studying appropriate curriculum and courses to better help couples and go deeper.
Yeah.
And so this just triggered the thought of, sometimes it's not necessarily the actual relationship that you've created. Maybe you have good boundaries as far as we don't go out with the opposite gender for lunch, or we don't have texting relationships with the opposite gender. But sometimes you build those thoughts in your mind. And so there's this constant comparison of who your spouse isn't and what they could be. And so I think that's a major, what did you call it? Foe? No, what do you call it? Enemy of unity. I would say that is a big part, because it kind of disqualifies your spouse.
Yeah.
When you are comparing them to someone that either doesn't exist, or someone that does exist, or a few people that exist, right? That's what our mind tends to do. They would never do that. They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't respond that way, that kind of thing. Yeah.
And as you were talking, I was thinking the world itself is an enemy of unity, right? It's so many dividing lines in culture that mindset, that spirit can seep into marriage, right? Like, this idea of having multiple partners, or we paying this show. And man, you could believe whatever you want. There's no knock on your belief system. If that's your thing, we just have parked to obeying the standards of the living God.
Yeah.
And that's his word. And so there's this culture narrative of disunity being amped up, right? Like racial division, marital, same sex, all this stuff, I think is a direct line. It's a shot taken from, the enemy taking shots at covenant marriage. Because we know when we together, even in Ecclesiastes about this two-fold cord not being easily broken.
Yeah.
Like, when you're on the same mindset and you chain linked like that, you can pull. You know what I mean? Like, and I think of my father-in-law, my brother-in-laws, they always pulling something. Like there's a chain. All of my brother-in-law's trucks, there's a chain in the back of that sucker. They always pulling stuff, right?
Yeah.
And once that chain get wrapped around the vehicle, is wrapped around the thing. I remember me and my father-in-law on the tractor had to pull something, and I was like, man, this thing, those chain links though, if one of them links break, all that force, something bad about to happen, right? But that thing was linked, and I think about that for unity. If we linked, man, can't nothing stop us.
Yeah.
We linked in the same mind. We linked in the same mission. We linked in the same goal. We linked in parenting, our finances, especially unstoppable.
For good, right?
Yes.
Because the same can happen. It's the same principle.
Yeah.
If you're doing it for evil as a couple, but when it's for
so
good,
true.
the power in that. And I was thinking of the scripture that 2 put how many to flight?
2 puts 1,000 to flight. 1 puts 1,000 to flight. 2 puts
10,000 angels to flight.
Yeah.
On behalf of what we're believing. And I really need that right now.
Yeah.
I need to know that we have, within the spiritual realm, people fighting.
Yeah.
Right? Beings fighting on our behalf for us.
Yeah.
And of course we know that Jesus he's already done it.
Yeah.
And God's answering our prayers before we've even asked. But I think even just that understanding, sometimes we don't recognize the power of unity when it comes to prayer.
Yeah, absolutely. And even to your point too, you start naming kind of these, there's unity in community. Literally the word unity.
That's so cute
is
of
in
you.
community.
I just want to give you a moment.
Come on, I
Just
appreciate
stop.
that. I see
And
my
if
creative
you could-
juices, boy. Hey.
And if you could, though.
Listen, what's in this cup right here?
It's cherry Coke.
It's just cherry Coke.
If you could give like a strong acronym for unity, what would it be?
Why are you putting me on the spot like that? Kev, you see what she's doing to me? I'm glad there's no O. You feel me?
I just want to say people loved your acronym. They loved it.
That was your acronym. I didn't even say that.
It was actually
you did.
mine.
You know what I'm saying?
It was
Front
mine.
me like I'm some kind
He
of...
was
No.
for umbrella, though.
But
clear.
even the protective idea of community, right? Like even for our marriage to be in community is important.
Yeah.
Individually to be in community is important. Our family to be in a faith grounded community is important. That brings unity.
It's true.
Right? And you think of Jesus, same thing. You can't find this outside of the life of men and women in the Word, in the Bible.
Yeah.
Right? Moses was in community. Joseph was in community. I mean, you go down the list. This was huge. And that unity brought them success. Right? So I love that. There's unity and community. I could see a little logo spells out community and unity just lit up. And like an orange or something.
Yellow.
Why orange?
I don't know.
Maybe it's our Bengals tie.
The Bengals.
Yeah,
the love for the Bengals.
So unity in marriage, unity in community, being in one mind, one accord, one mindset, going towards the same mission, same vision, same goal. We know there's enemies to unity. We talked a little about that. How can we strengthen unity?
Is this another question for me? Or is this for Kevin?
No,
Kevin, I
think
he has a question.
How can we strengthen unity in our marriage?
Also, can someone mic up Kevin? Because we keep getting asked and we haven't. So I feel like that's your job, Kev.
Next week, he said.
Kevin's there next week. Because I would love to. I just don't know how. I'm like, you want to hold this? That's
so if y'all see Kevin not on the camera, then pop in. I mean, he had to get everything straight. Then he popping down with us on the episode. So,
and I'm so sorry. Could you repeat my interview question?
Forgot your question?
Yeah.
How can we strengthen our unity in our marriage?
I see the problem with these questions is I feel like you already have an answer.
No,
I don't. It's a test. It feels like more of a test.
No, I don't really.
Okay.
I mean, I'm Rolodexing, but I didn't give you that question and prepare to give an answer.
Okay.
I genuinely want to know.
Okay, that's kind. All right. So how can we strengthen our unity? Prayer.
Yes, I agree.
And just really clarifying. Actually, we're doing this now. We want to get together some resources based on, or not based on, but inspired by resources that we've found that aren't Christian based, right? Because the principles are true.
Yeah.
The statistics are profound and
Yes.
wild to us.
They do a lot of research.
And there's been a lot of research and multiple different like approaches within therapy. So I would say that's really helped us. Actually, we have a date night tonight. You want to tell everyone?
We do. Our date night? No, we're not telling people our date night.
No, I was kidding because you basically told me before this you didn't think that we could. I just wanted to get it on. Care. It's being recorded,
No,
right?
I don't care. Okay, we can go. Yeah, we can go on date night.
So
our
anyway,
date nights are normally Tuesday nights.
Oh, he's got to clarify.
We've been tired. I'm tired.
I'm also tired.
And
the travel is not for the week.
This is no excuse. We got to get our date night in.
I wasn't even saying it for that, but I forgive you.
I'm saying it for that.
Thank you.
We're going to go to our date night spot. Johnny and Devin know what it is. Don't be snitching. Don't post in the comments, Devin.
It's a secret. You'd never guess.
It's a secret.
Okay, so.
But if you come visit us, we'll take you. We'll take you. But we're not saying where it's at.
So, yeah, we've taken a couple.
We have. A couple couples.
Cal came. JB and Rachel.
Yep.
Good times. Okay, so my point of saying that is we're taking these like resources that have inspired us to be able to go deeper and further based on the word and not just statistics, right?
Yeah.
And that only takes you so far. So I think that has really enriched our unity and allowed us to grow better together. Actually, Lemorse and I don't really fight. So it's kind of funny because I feel like we have argued more since reading this book, this particular book. But I think it's very healthy because we are so much on the same page often. Like I remember Lemorse telling me before, just because we don't always agree isn't a bad thing. I was like, I think it is. I want to always agree on the same things. So we're just kind of in like the little fine tunings of relationship.
Yeah. And date nights help strengthen your unity. Right. The cool thing about date night is we get to talk about things, process things, eat good food, of course. My wife's a foodie. So she loves finding the new places, the aesthetic, as my daughter would say, places. And she will been and visited 5 places, and I don't even know the name of them.
I didn't
so
know.
We'll be talking to people, and they're like, "Have you been to?" And I'm thinking in my mind, "I've never been in here." She pipes up, "Yes, it's so good. Get it number 6." I'll be like, "Dang, how many places you been?"
That's Jimmy John's. I wouldn't do that.
That's number 4. But to my point, in strengthening our unity, I know tonight we're gonna be able to process some things about our future, things about what we want to do, how are things going, whether it be our devotional, our pro ministry curriculum, all that. We know those conversations gonna come. And guess what that does? It helps us go forward in the vision. Like it's inspiring, it's encouraging, it's provoking. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if you don't have someone that can feed or speak into your vision, it can go dormant.
Yeah.
Right? And I think of Joseph. You feel me? Like God gave him a dream. As soon as he got the dream, he went straight to a pit. Could you imagine how lonely that was? And he was convinced of the dream. If he wasn't convinced of the dream, he would have never opened his mouth.
Yeah.
Because why? Out of the abundance of your heart, your mouth speaks. So then he went to a dungeon. Then he went to being accused, to a prison. All this time, his dream, I believe, is what's pulling him through all these difficulties.
Yeah.
So when you're in unity and you're in one accord, when you have conversations about that vision, that man, it's, boy, I feel I can conquer anything. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it makes me think of right before I was diagnosed with MS, of course, I was like freaked out by all of the things, just scared about every symptom that comes with it. And I just remember we were walking around the mall. My eyes were still messy. I couldn't really see very well. And we sat down in the food court, and there was this cute little old couple. They were so cute. And they were having a cookie and a Coke. And I just really resonated with me.
Cookie and a Coke.
It's so cute. And you said,
that's going to be us.
That's going to be us. And that's actually all you said. But I just remember like realizing and recognizing in that moment the vision that was sown into me from that, because it gave me hope and it gave me a joy and a peace that I didn't have.
Yeah. And I even think of the couple today.
Yeah, we met such a great couple today.
Kev, we met this couple. They've been married 54 years in a difficult season, which is weird, babe, but it did encourage me.
I thought they were angels maybe, but
I know, right? They were so cute. And it also encouraged me that they were in a difficult season because it just revealed to me that life happens no matter how old you get.
Yeah.
Life is still going to happen. But y'all, let me tell you,
I was very
they
discouraged.
were in unity, weren't they?
Yeah.
She didn't come, like he was telling us a story about trying to sell their house, and
Mm-hmm.
he was a veteran, and they kind of in a difficult season, but man, they were locked in, weren't they? Like, it was beautiful. It was so encouraging that we sold into them, because we want that. We want that at 54 years, to no matter what we're going through,
Yes,
they
to
they
be
was locked
united.
in unity. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes life can wear on you where you could become so discouraged that you forget who you're going through life with.
Yeah.
I never want that to be.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, none of us were designed to go through life alone. So if I'm going through something, at least I got somebody with me that can
It's true.
encourage me, speak life to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because all of us gonna hit pits.
Yeah.
You gonna hit a pit in life,
Yeah.
right? But thank God we can have somebody who can give us a hand down and help us out.
It's true. And maybe you're not married, but
Mhm.
that's what we can also find in friendship. That's what we obviously can find in our relationship with the Lord. Knowing, I think one of the best gifts from God is that he knows us
Mhm.
fully.
That's
Yes,
good.
it's scary knowing the whole motivation of our heart and how our mind thinks, of course, because their hearts are what?
Inherently evil.
So, of course, that's not a fun thought,
Mhm.
but it's also so freeing. He knows us.
Yeah.
I don't have to over-explain myself. I don't have to try and grapple for examples or express to you why that's not true or why that looks different to me, or he knows me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the best, intimate things with the Lord,
Yeah.
which creates such a unity in my relationship with him.
That's good.
And then friends, just be a good friend.
Yes. Be a good friend.
Be
Good
a friend that
friends are
supports,
important.
listens, loves,
Yeah.
recognizes that your whole point of relationship is adding value
Yes.
to your relationship, whether you're in a dating relationship, a marital relationship, or you're just in a friendship.
Yeah.
Adding value is the greatest thing you can do.
Absolutely. So the friend that you desire, be that person first. Always sow for what you want.
Mm.
If you want a good friend, the scripture says, show yourself to be friendly.
Yeah.
Right? Be a good friend. And if that means you got to fight off jealousy, envy, hate, whatever it might be, don't let the enemy sow seeds of discord in your friendship.
It's true.
It's so important because you, me, Meg, Kev, we all need friends.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. You need a good friend. And just like God wants to send the right people into your life, the enemy wants to send the wrong ones.
It's true.
So you have to be aware. And so just sow to be the friend that you want. And I know we're about to wrap up here, babe, but this is so important. I have to come back to this.
Yeah.
Dream together as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let bills,
Yeah.
issues, family, stop letting stuff and people steal your dreams.
Yeah, it's true.
Hold on to your dream. God put something in you. Don't let life rob you. Don't let it take it. That dream is a magnet to your future. And I think about that, like there's so many couples that are in a rut, or this is just the way it is. No, it ain't.
Yeah.
Fight for your dream. You had a dream before you got married. You still got a dream while you're married. If you're divorced, hold on to your dream. If you're going through a separation, hold on to your dream. Don't let nothing or no one steal your dream.
It's good.
Right? And that could be calling, dream, idea.
Yeah, it could be driving through a neighborhood and looking at homes.
Oh, yeah.
We used to do that all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, that's so true.
And just so sweet to see where God has brought us.
Yeah.
So you keep your eye focused, obviously, on him.
Mm-hmm.
And our whole goal with having a bigger home, and it was to be able to open
Love
it,
people.
right?
That's
and
it.
For me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. So not just us.
That's right.
We're serving the Lord, but our house is going to be a place to serve the Lord.
So don't get things to get things. Let those things serve you to help people.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. There's no point if you want to have a big house if people can't come in it. I don't care about this house. If we can't have people on that couch and we're counseling and pouring into, loving on, you go in my refrigerator, come whenever you need. There's no point of having it. It's useless. Why? When you die, you can't take none of it with you.
Yeah.
So stop holding on to things you can't take to eternity. And you send things before you by how you live and love people.
Yeah.
Man, I'm out. Boy, about to snap in
You and I, like I said.
You and I will make
No, you have so many gifts. You don't have to do other things.
I could wrap it.
Yeah, you could.
You like
Dr.
wrap it up
Seuss.
and put it under the tree and don't open it, especially the next episode.
No, I love you.
But
And
real
I love
quick,
I love your voice. I love when you sing.
it's okay. I know I can't sing, babe, and I'm
But
all right
it's
with
so
that.
beautiful.
No, I'm not naive to my gifts. Hey, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. Stay in unity
Yeah.
in your marriage, in your relationships. Babe, I got one more thing. I'm sorry.
Tell the people they need to know. Yeah.
Some of y'all need to honor your parents better.
I mean, who's listening to this then?
You're
That's for
not
you?
in unity with your parents because of offense. There's things you haven't communicated and how you feel, and vice versa. Make it right with your parents. You only get one set. Stop letting the enemy kill the unity in your life with your parents. The Bible says if you honor your parents, you'll live long on the earth.
Yeah.
You can't honor someone you're not in relationship with. They're your mom. They're your dad. They're not perfect. So if you listening to this, I don't know who that was for. I just tapped
Yeah,
in.
I feel very specific.
Please
So
make it right.
yes, please.
Say I'm sorry. Walk in forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If you have children, it's going to affect your children. And that's not what you want. And for me personally, I will fight for that because my kids only have one set of grandparents. There's no way I'm going to let the enemy kill any unity I have with my in-laws. Because why? It's going to affect them. So whoever that was for, bless you, love you. Yo, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Go to YouTube, Covenant Culture Podcast, IG, Covenant Culture Podcast. Man, share it. Man, just do whatever you want with it. We love
Do
y'all.
whatever you want.
Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
Love
Peace.
y'all.
Give me some, babe. Hey. Woo. Holla.
Bye.